My apologies on this video, but hey, what's up everyone? We have this here 21-inch Honda mower here. I literally just got done making a video on and then realized that my microphone was off. But don't worry, it was a quick one to begin with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what was wrong. Let me begin with the issue here. The issue at hand was you could turn it on just fine, but it'd be shaking. So there's two things about that. If you have a clutch, if your motor, and trust me, you'll know if you have a clutch because you paid for it. If you have a clutch, the motor will spin independently from the blades until the clutch is engaged. Clutch is just something that moves, engages the blades, and then that's it. It works as a normal lawnmower, as if it was physically attached to the crankshaft. Except when you turn this one on, it wasn't shaking. It would only shake if your blades were on. Now, if you have one that doesn't have a clutch and it shakes all the time, stick tuned to the end. I'll tell you what that could possibly be and how to look for it. But what we have done is this. So first things first, we're going to want to unplug the spark plug, no matter what type you have, clutch or anything, doesn't matter. Unplug it. I'm not going to because I'm not going to work on it. But tip it over. Now, for this one, like I said, the clutch itself just has like two little discs, and then they touch and they engage the blade. Pretty simple. When I took this machine apart, I quickly realized the problem. This is a two-blade system. This was the blade that was on this machine. You could kind of tell there's a lot of rust right here and a clean break right there. It was broken a long time ago, probably shook a long time ago, and then eventually over time stress became too much, disconnected, and now we have a broken blade. I put a good used blade on there for a test. I'm going to go buy a new one. The owner wants new blades, and then as soon as I put the new blade on there, it worked just fine, no issue. So go ahead and check your blade. Now, obviously this one was pretty simple where it was having the problem because it was broken. If we're going to keep it simple, stupid type of thing, take the blades off. Go to anywhere in your garage and get any type of driver. This is just a 2-cycle adjustment driver. Put the blade center, and if it does anything like that, it's out of balance. It should be basically level. It might flow a little bit, that's fine, but it should be basically level. If it's not, you need to take however your method is of sharpening, sharpen that end that's falling down where it's the heavy side until it becomes even. Now if you do that and it still is doing this problem and you have a clutch, you're going to disassemble the clutch. Usually there's these two, at least on Hondas, the clutch material is kind of broken up into a couple different pieces. Sometimes those pieces can become damaged and fall out, and then you're kind of working with like half clutch, and when that happens, like the little sandwich it makes gets a little more compressed on one side and then it starts to wobble, and that could be part of the problem. That's an expensive problem. That's at least 80 bucks. Might be different now, I don't know. At the time when I'm filming this, that's how much new clutch parts would have been if it was that problem. Now, if you've done this, and this is going back to clutch people or non-clutch people, if you've done this, the blades and everything, and for clutch people, if your machine shakes the minute you turn it on or the second you turn it on, or non-clutch people, if it always shakes no matter what you do to the blade, your crankshaft is probably bent. How do you know that? Well, yet again, with the plug off, this I will disconnect the plug. I don't need to because this has a clutch, but just to be on the safe side, spin the blades. Okay, well, that one's going to be a little rough, but measure a distance from somewhere on your deck, spin the blade again, and then see if the other side of the blade is the same distance away. If it's not, or If it's pretty close, check the other side, you know, check here, check here, check here, check here, and check here. If all of them are normal, then you probably have something wrong internally with your motor, and that's causing the shake. But more likely than not, like 95% of the time, one of those measurements is going to be off. It should be the same on both sides. If it's not, the side that's closer means there's a bend in the crank. That's a bent crankshaft. There's machines you can make or buy to fix it. You can hit it with a hammer if you really want to. Not the best of ideas. Usually a bent crank is the death of a motor. But if you want to buy the machine or take the risk of hitting the hammer and maybe ruining the crankshaft to begin with, you know, go right ahead. It's your crankshaft. If you are going to go down the hammer route, use a soft hammer. Plastic probably won't work, but a soft, heavier hammer that would at least make it so you probably won't be damaging too much. What you would end up doing is find out how it's bent. Let's say, it's bent like up right now. You want to put the bend facing you, and you can hit it. And then you spin it around, you look at it, you measure again, you hit it again until it's straight. That's a pretty quick and dirty way. More likely than not, you're going to be damaging, if it has a bearing in there, you're going to be damaging a seal, you're going to be damaging something, so that's not going to be too much of a long, you're not going to have a long life for that motor, let's just say that. Having said that, that is for both styles of machines. If yours always shakes, it's usually going to be the crankshaft. Even with the clutch, that may not be a real noticeable shake, but it will still shake because the bent crankshaft is going to be moving the clutch in a weird way, and it's going to cause a problem. I've never really seen one bend on a clutch style mower, so that one's pretty rare. But on normal mowers with no clutch, that happens quite often, so beware. So unfortunately we didn't get to wrench on anything today, but quick and informed video, hopefully. Always check your blades before you go anywhere, before you start buying clutch parts or anything like that. Check your blade. This is obviously not a good one. Buy good high quality blades. Never fix that blade. These are not that expensive in comparison to what they can do to you. Last thing you want to do is create like a flying piece of sharp metal flying from beneath your mower and hurting you or someone else. Throw it away. Don't bother to fix it. Just throw it away. Recycle it. Turn it into welding art. Whatever you want to do. Whatever it turns into should not be another mower blade. So, having said that, I'm going to go ahead, finish the tune-up I have to work on this machine on, and then I will catch you in the next video. If you have any questions about this, leave a comment below. If this helped you out, then definitely leave a comment. Also, if it helped you out, put a thumbs up, because that helps me out a lot, and I will catch you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, and have a good night.